What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we are back with another blowing up rebuild. You guys really liked the one I did yesterday with the Brooklyn Nets, and now today we're going to do it with the Charlotte Hornets. Because let's be honest, the team around LaMelo Ball, it just isn't good enough, man. We're not moved by it at all. So today we are going to be doing the same thing we did yesterday with the Nets, this time with the Charlotte Hornets. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one, subscribe if you're new to the channel, as always, greatly appreciated. The goal is to get 30,000 subs before this year is over. I don't know if we're going to get there, but we have to set the bar high. So thank you guys so much for that. If you help me out with that goal regardless. But the Charlotte Hornets, now, as much as I don't like them, they did help me win some money yesterday. So shout out to them. I guess I can show that real quick in Prize Picks, which is going to be a sponsor of today's video, as you guys know. But basically, just like yesterday, I made trades already before the video started, because when you try to make trades that could happen realistically, it's kind of tough to do with the 2K trade finder. So I made the trades happen, and I'm obviously going to show you guys the same thing I did with the Nets yesterday. If you watched the Nets video, I did the same thing. So basically, as you can tell, the Charlotte Hornets no longer have Oubre, Rozier, or Gordon Hayward, which are three guys I think the Hornets should heavily try to trade at the trade deadline if they can. PJ Washington's been pretty decent this year. Obviously, we need to recap the trades that we did, because we now have Kyle Kuzma somehow. So I'll show you guys what we did. So 3 trades that I made, just like yesterday with the Nets. Yeah, starting off with Kelly Oubre going over to the Pelicans for Devontae Graham and a first-round pick. So just like, remember when Sean Marks took over the Nets when he first started, he would take on bad contracts and collect draft picks, try to collect assets, and then eventually turn those assets into Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, whatever you want to say. So next, Terry Rozier, basically, to recap this a little bit more, Devontae Graham's contract has like 3 years left on it. Oubre isn't expiring, but we're going to be in a rebuild, so it doesn't really matter if we have bad contracts right now. So Terry Rozier for Kyle Kuzma and a first-round pick. The Washington Wizards, obviously, still trying to compete with Beal. They have Porzingis there, so I took on Kuzma from them. They get Rozier, who could be their starting point guard. Monty Morris can move back to the bench, and boom, you have kind of a mid-big three with Rozier, Beal, and Porzingis. Next, you got Gordon Hayward. This one's the weird one. Gordon Hayward going to the Miami Heat for Duncan Robinson's terrible contract. So we're taking on Robinson's terrible contract. We get Caleb Martin out of it as well. So you have Caleb Martin and Cody Martin reunited in Charlotte. And we are getting a first-round pick out of it as well. So basically, we've traded those 3 guys that we no longer need to have on the team. We're super mid, so we might as well get something for them. Gordon Hayward trade, maybe out of the realm of not really going to happen. I could have waited till the offseason to trade him, obviously. But I am very happy to move him. And now we have terrible contracts. But hey, we got 3 first-round picks out of it at the deadline. So we have to be pretty happy with that. So Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, PJ Washington, Mason Plumlee, Nick Richards, Joe McDaniels, Dennis Smith, both the Martin twins, as I said, Devontae Graham, Dedmon, Duncan Robinson, Theo, Mark Williams, James Bouknight, and Kai Jones, Bryce McGowan. So we are going to run probably like an 11-man rotation this year. I want to get as many players minutes as possible. I mean, most of these guys are going to be here past the season, but if we can get like well, I don't know if I care about Dedmon getting minutes. I guess I can give these last few minutes to James Bouknight. I don't know if he ever becomes anything for us, but we might as well throw him some minutes anyway. And then you'll have, like I said, LaMelo, Cody Martin, I guess we'll start. Kyle Kuzma at the small forward, Washington at the 4. Plumlee's been started for the Hornets, so I guess I'll roll with that. I'm not going to restart him in the offseason. Joe McDaniels, Nick Richards. You could probably get something for Mason Plumlee as well, to be honest with you. If I can get like a second-round pick, you might as well. I mean, he's on an expiring contract. He's not a bad center, but he's not really a starter in my opinion. So if someone wants to give me like a second-round pick for him, I'll take it real quick. But I'm not going to take Klay Thompson as well, so I guess I won't even worry about it. Let's wait to the end of the season. Obviously, we're hoping to bottom out and be absolutely atrocious. That way we can have a high draft pick. Maybe we keep Kuzma past the season. I don't know. We'll see. Let's wait to the end. Let's see how we finish out. You see this, man? This could be you right here. Today's video is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best way to get more out of the game you're watching. You're picking overs or unders on your favorite players that you love watching each and every day. Let me show you how it works. Prize Picks is available on mobile or desktop, and you basically get to choose 2 to 5 players, and you choose over or under on their props that they give you. You pretty much have every sport you can imagine on here. But let's say I wanted to go ahead and put a bet on Mitchell and Joel Embiid. I want to go more and more on them. If I get it right, I 3 times my money. Let's say I want to go up to 5 players, which is the most you can go up to. You can go more or more on all of them, and that's going to 10 times your money. I started with $100, and so far I'm up to $500. I've been having a ton of fun over here on Prize Picks. If you want to go ahead and sign up, link is down in the description below. Use code Crushables or matching deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. If you deposit $100, you get $200 to work with. Thank you, Prize Picks, for sponsoring today's video. Back to the rebuild. Luka is your MVP. Paulo, Rookie of the Year. 6-man, Cole Anthony. I mean, we kind of know all about this. Shingun most approved. Shout out to him. But regardless, Doesn't really matter for us. We sucked. We are very, very bad. We're going to be in the draft lottery, which is where we want to be anyway. But yeah, 23 from LaMelo, 16 from Kyle Kuzma, 12 from PJ Washington, 9.5 from Nick Richards, and 9 from James Bouknight. So not too bad. Let's simulate the playoffs and see who comes out here and wins a championship real quick. We got the Bucks moving, and then you got the Mavericks and 76ers with a healthy James Harden. He hasn't played in a while, but the Mavericks go on to win a championship. Luka Doncic, man, just kind of unstoppable in 2K. That's all there is to it. But player retirements, Giannis Haslam, none of those really are that expiring or important. So draft lottery time is gonna be the most important part of the video. We are projected number 5 overall. It says it's gonna go to the Spurs, but I'm pretty sure this pick is protected. So we got the Atlanta Hawks number 14. I mean, I feel like skipping this, but at the same time I don't. I feel like I should watch the whole thing. So we will. Phoenix Suns number 13. Okay, so no movement so far. Brooklyn Nets number 12. I feel like eventually Kevin Durant will request another trade at the trade deadline with the way the season is going for the Nets. Apparently Kyrie Irving might be ready to play again on Sunday, so let's see if that changes things around for him, because right now it's just not looking good for Brooklyn, man. 10 New York Knicks. You got the Knicks number 10, and then my Blazers actually play the Nets tonight, so we'll see how that goes. But number 9 going to the Sacramento Kings, and that is going to be your first movement. So the Pelicans and Kings. The Pelicans, of course, jump to the top 4. Why wouldn't they? Spurs, number 8. And that's going to be us. So the Spurs go all the way to 8, and we go all the way to top 4, and we jump down to number 8. What an absolute poverty draft for us, man. Absolutely atrocious. Not where we want to be at all. That is a big challenge going forward. So obviously, we are not even close to the Wembanyama sweepstakes. Very, very bad draft. Not good at all. So staff signing. We have Steve Clifford. I guess I'll keep him for now. Michael Jordan hired him for some reason, so I'll keep him around. Ryan Soto, not to be confused with Kai Soto, but we'll grab Greg Moss as well. Just grab some coaches out here and fill this out. And then we'll head to the draft with our 8th overall pick. That really sucks. We fell down the board so far because we're just kind of in the same spot again, where we're going to be drafting somebody and hoping they're good. And Charlotte Hornets draft history hasn't been the best, I'll say that. All right, jumping in at number 8 overall, we already know who the Spurs are going to take. Wembanyama goes to San Antonio. So number 8 overall, we could probably get somebody good. So Wembanyama goes number 1. Cameron Whitmore number 2. We got Scooter Henderson going to the Pelicans. Nick Smith Jr. to the Thunder. Brendan Miller, Dariq Whitehead, Asar Thompson. So obviously you could take like Amon Thompson, I guess, or Keontae George is also available. Derek Lively, I guess, is an option as well. But I think I might take Keontae George here. I don't think I've ever taken him before, really. I usually take like Thompson or Derek Lively. But I think I am going to go ahead and take Keontae George here with this pick at number 8 overall. And I don't know if we had another first-round pick. I'm pretty sure we didn't, but I'll check just in case. Yeah, it was just an early second. Chris Livingston, I guess, will be the other guy I take here, and that will be my draft. So just like that, we walk away with a 77 overall. So not too bad. We're going to hope he can develop into something for us next to LaMelo. Chris Livingston, I'll sign him as well. So, obviously it's not, the Wembanyama we wanted, but Kuzma declines his player option. James Bouknight, we accept. Kai Jones, LaMelo Ball. I mean, we're probably going to be pretty bad this year again. I do want to sign both Nick Richards and PJ Washington back, who have been pretty good this year for Charlotte. Just really good role players, I would say. And free agency, obviously, we're not expecting to get anybody crazy in free agency. This free agency, we're not really worried about spending a bunch of money. So I think it's just a matter of waiting and seeing on what we get next year as far as maybe being really bad, and we can just draft again next year. So basically, Mason Plum, we were not bringing back. Nick Richards and PJ Washington are 2 guys I definitely think I want back for this team. We could obviously go for like a Porzingis, but PJ Washington, 4-year, $12 million is actually kind of like a steal of a contract. So, or 5-year even if we want to do that. And then McDaniels, I wouldn't mind having back as well for 2 years. And then Nick Richards was the other guy. So I'll sign Joe McDaniels. PJ Washington is yet to accept my contract. There it goes. So PJ Washington, welcome to Charlotte. And then we could just kind of wait on Nick Richards. And then we should be golden for next year. So now you have Mark Williams and Nick Richards, who will probably get the center opportunity this year, which I kind of like. So qualifying offers, or player progression, I should say. We got LaMelo Ball up to a 92. Again, the roster around him, really bad, not good at all. So there's still more work to be done. Washington, 78. Keontae George, 77. We have to really hope Keontae George just develops into an absolute stud next to him, because I don't know what else you'd want. So Keontae George, LaMelo Ball, hopefully backcourt of the future. I'm not locked into this team whatsoever. Eventually, we can maybe flip Duncan Robinson, Devontae Graham's expiring contracts into something good. Who knows? But for now, it's just kind of rough. Then at the end of the season, Luka Doncic is your MVP. Victor Wembanyama is your Rookie of the Year. James Harden's your 6-man AD defensive player. And then Daniel Gafford, most improved. So Looks like maybe Washington lost Porzingis and Gafford was able to step up. And hey, man, he looks pretty damn good. Averaged 3 blocks per game. Sounds like a guy I want on my team low key, but he's only an 80 overall, man. Yeah, maybe Gafford could turn into a guy like that for Washington. I don't know. Toe Jenkins, coach of the year. Now, I will tell you, LaMelo Ball, I should have known this, but absolute stud this year. Averaged 29 points per game on 10 assists, almost 50, 40, 90 club, and we are in the playoffs. He led us to the playoffs, which is kind of crazy because this team around him isn't the greatest in the world. But Keontae George came out, averaged 21 and a half. PJ Washington was 17, so not too bad. I'll take that. Nick Richards with 10 and 9 and almost 2 blocks per game as our starting center right now. So pretty good. 10 for McDaniels, 9 for Devontae Graham, 8 from Caleb Martin. And then you got, 6 from Chris Livingston, who also started at small forward for us. Didn't shoot great from 3, but you know what? A lot to be excited about. We get to play Cleveland in round 1. Obviously, not even close. This shouldn't even be a comparison. We're going to lose. There's no way we beat the Cavaliers here. So many current round. We win game 1. And, dude, I was about to say, if we beat the Cavs, I mean, it'll be just a one-man show with LaMelo Ball. Keontae George is really good, though. So that is a good sign going forward that we have a guy next to LaMelo who can get buckets, which is exciting. And then Washington as well, not too bad either. He averaged 23 in the playoffs. So feeling pretty good about that. We can simulate the playoffs now, and let's see who wins a championship. But the fact that we're even here is a good sign. Celtics and Pelicans, you have the Celtics going on to win a championship in 5 over the Pels. Iguodala, Chris Paul retiring, Lowry retiring, and Al Horford. Straight to lottery go. Maybe we have a lottery pick here via somebody else, but obviously our pick will not be here. So yeah, no, not going to be the case. I think we only traded for like 2025 picks. I don't think I have a 2024 pick via anybody. We probably don't even have our own pick here. Yeah, so it looks like the Spurs have our pick this year. So we don't even have our own first round pick, which is fine because, like I said, we collected other teams' assets. So Knicks have number 1, though. Staff signing, if we go look at that. Steve Clifford just led us to the playoffs, so I don't think there's any reason to, justify firing him. So we can go ahead and just leave him here and leave him be. And then we can just kind of fill this out. And then I don't know what we're going to do from there. Like, we just made the playoffs. We have Keontae George. We have PJ Washington, which are 3 very nice pieces. I don't know if I can count on PJ Washington developing very much, but even as just like a starting power forward, he's not too bad. So we'll see what we want to do. Let's go to draft night. We have these expiring salaries. Like, if we look at Graham's contract right now, Devontae Graham's contract should be expiring. Duncan Robinson has a 1-year +1, so it's not technically expiring. Does have a player option, but it's getting there. You got Caleb Martin, or Cody Martin, I should say, Jalen McDaniel. So a lot of expiring salaries. Even Washington's contract could, maybe be thrown in something. So LaMelo Ball obviously has to be extended this offseason, but there is a world right now where we could potentially grab another player to add to this roster. I don't see why not. Might as well. Whether it's a center or whatever it may be, we might as well go look around the league and see what we can add to this roster with all these assets that we have and all these expiring salaries. I think it's pretty obvious who my target's going to be. It's going to be DeAndre Ayton. The man is on a team right now where the Suns finished 15th seed. Like, they were so bad. Chris Paul's retired on them. But if you go take a look at the Suns right now, they went 26 and 56. It's very clear they need some type of reset. And obviously, the Hornets team has been looking for a center since maybe Al Jefferson days. It's been kind of maybe that long. Maybe there's another center I'm kind of sleeping on, I forgot about. But yeah, it's been, they had Dwight Howard, I guess, for a second. But regardless, DeAndre Ayton is my target here. So what I want to do is I want to be able to acquire DeAndre Ayton, have LaMelo Ball, Keontae George, maybe we keep Washington out of the trade, and have a very nice big 3 with LaMelo Ball and DeAndre Ayton as our duo. So Devontae Graham's expiring contract thrown in here. We have Duncan Robinson's contract we can throw in here to make the salaries match. First round picks, we have our unprotected first. We're going to have this unprotected Wizards pick, which has some value to it. This unprotected Heat pick. And then maybe, just maybe, you'd have to throw in maybe like a young asset. If we could throw like a Book Knight in, I would. Maybe you do have to throw Washington in. I don't know. But I'm going to offer 3 first round picks for DeAndre Ayton. And just like that, they do agree to the trade. They get 3 first round picks out of DeAndre Ayton. Would have loved to have thrown a young player to them. And I really wish 2K would still allow you to, or I really wish 2K would add where you can accept player team options before the draft. That is just so, it would just be such a game changer for trades, because that happens all the time in real life. But DeAndre Ayton is our brand new center in Charlotte, which I absolutely love. I love it for us. And then we don't have a draft pick in this draft, so not really need to worry about that. So player options, go take a real quick look. You have Caleb Martin declining, and Mark Williams, a free agent, Book Knight, Kai Jones, Chris Livingston. See, those 4 guys alone I could have included in a trade for obviously like a DeAndre Ayton. I do want LaMelo Ball back, obviously. There's no doubt in my mind I want him back. So we're just going to match whatever he's offered. And then you have like Nick Richards, Theo, Bryce McGowan. So Let me see what LaMelo Ball gets offered. Josh Jackson, I don't think I'm going to keep him. I didn't even know he was on the Hornets. The Pacers are trying to, put a duo together of Halliburton and LaMelo. I respect it, but I can't allow it. I'm sorry. So I'm going to match LaMelo Ball's contract, obviously. That was no-brainer there. Can we sign somebody really good still? No. So we have Aiden's contract. We have Washington's contract, and we are just chilling right now. So now we have LaMelo Ball, Keontae George, Cody Martin, James Bouknight. You have Chris Livingston, a small forward, PJ Washington, Joe McDaniels, Kai Jones. You have Mark Williams, DeAndre Ayton. So honestly, I think we should definitely re-sign Nick Richards to be our backup center. He is 26 years old. He is restricted. Caleb Martin, on the other hand, I think I'd maybe be okay with letting go. So I am going to try to sign Nick Richards back. I don't want to renounce him. So we are on a moratorium, though, so where I could sign him to a deal. So I'm going to sign Nick Richards to a deal. They want me to renounce him, but I'm going to sign him to a deal to be our backup center, I think. And I think that makes Mark Williams a little bit more expendable because we do need a really good small forward. Right now, we just don't really have that. We could obviously move like one of these guys there, but I think we could go out there and get like a small forward that's just on a cheaper deal. We have some, have some options. We have some contracts. I think it'd be really nice to go out and get that. I'm going to try to snag Nasir Little from the Portland Trailblazers. I do like him a lot, and he doesn't get enough minutes right now in Portland. That's just because of how deep the Portland Trailblazers are right now. But I am going to try to get him for a package similar to this, and we do get Nasir Little as our brand new small forward. So I do like that a lot. Now I have LaMelo Ball, Keontae George, Cody Martin. We can move him to small forward, or we can keep him at shooting guard, whatever we need to do. Which actually, what we could do is play him at small forward, and we could resign Caleb Martin as well if we wanted to. So I'll have Cody Martin, and then I guess we do have a power forward right now in McDaniels and Kai Jones. Nick Richards and Mark Williams are still here, and then we definitely need like a backup point guard, shooting guard. So you have DeLon Wright, you have Peyton Pritchard, which I actually like the idea of Peyton Pritchard as our backup guard. You have a Clarkson, Burks, but I am going to go ahead and offer Peyton Pritchard a 3-year deal to try to see if I can get him from Boston, because I do like him a lot, and we do get him. So just like that, that is going to be my offer. So boom. Now you have a big three of Keontae George, LaMelo Ball, DeAndre Ayton, PJ Washington still here. I like this a lot. LaMelo Ball is up to a 95. Keontae George up to an 81. DeAndre Ayton up to an 88. You got Martin obviously developing because we changed this position. Mark Williams is still, getting up there as well. So hopefully he can continue to develop. Nasir Little might not be the small forward that we definitely need. But he's solid enough that I think he'll be serviceable here. And he's going to have a lot more opportunity here in Charlotte than he would in Portland. So I like that a lot for us. I also tried for Jonathan Kuminga. The Warriors were not having it. I even offered 2 firsts, and they said no. So they very much obviously valued Jonathan Kuminga, so that was not going to happen. But regardless, let's go take a look at the rotation, and let's see what we got going on. So rotation-wise, we just made the playoffs last year. This is what we got. So now we have LaMelo Ball, Keontae George, Nasir Little, PJ Washington, DeAndre Ayton, Cody Martin, Peyton Pritchard, Nick Richards, and then Mark Williams. I'm going to have to throw McDaniels in over Mark Williams this year just because we do already have Nick Richards playing that, backup center. But I really like this roster. I love this rotation. Proficiency, 3.5 based in space. And that will be our best, possible scenario there. So we're going to roll with it like this. I don't know if I love this here Little as our small forward going forward, but we can make it work for now. His shot tendency is down to a 47. I'm going to boost that up a little bit. I want him to be pretty aggressive. So I'm going to go maybe like a 65, and then we'll leave it there. So somebody this season, LaMelo Ball just led us to the playoffs last year. So I'm expecting that same kind of production again. Keontae George to step up a little bit more, and DeAndre Ayton comes in and helps out immediately. LaMelo Ball comes out here and wins MVP in his 3rd season here doing this rebuild. 33 points per game, 6 rebounds, 12.5 assists, 2 steals, almost 50-40-90 club for him. LaMelo Ball just an absolute stud in the simulation. It's kind of like Luka in a way. Xavier Booker, Rookie of the Year for the Knicks. James Harden, 6th man in Philly. Giannis, Defensive Player. Jayshawn Tate, Most Improved, and JB Bickerstaff, Coach of the Year. So we still have a very, very scary Eastern Conference to get through with like the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're always the biggest threat, as we know. But man, I'm excited for LaMelo Ball because he just won MVP. But we are the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference. We get to play the team they literally just played last night in the Indiana Pacers. Yeah, 33 points from LaMelo Ball, 24 from Keontae George, so he's still stepping up. Washington with 15, not too bad at all. 15 from DeAndre and 11 rebounds, 10.5 from Nasir Little. So yeah, he didn't do too bad. Did he shoot efficiently? Shot 35% from 3. Could be better, but not too bad. 9 points from Pritchard off the bench. 7 from Nick Richards. Also a block still off the bench. Not too bad. And Martin and McDaniels, not too bad at all. So pretty good rotation around LaMelo. Is this a championship roster just yet? Maybe not, but we'll see. Maybe 2K gives us the benefit of the doubt here. The Pacers got Devin Vassell, which I absolutely love, man. Vassell the other night against Portland, and just I haven't been able to watch like every game of his, but he was literally just making like almost every 3, it seemed like, against Portland the other night. So Vassell, going to be an absolute stud one day. He's already kind of showing that. Mathurin, of course, as well as a stud. So I really like this roster that the Pacers have put together around Halliburton, but hopefully they don't beat us. So my current round against Indiana, and we are going to beat them in 5. So we do take care of them pretty easily, which is nice, but now we get to play the Celtics, who have Brogdon, Smart, Brown, Tatum, Robert Williams. We know the Celtics are a good damn roster. So I don't know if I love our chances here, but you never know. Game 1, they beat us 175. What is that score? 175 to 107. Tatum draws 57 on our heads. Like, can you imagine if a team let up 175 points? That would be the most bizarre thing on planet Earth, man. I mean, I think like literally the Nets gave like, didn't the Nets give up 153 to the Kings? But come on, how do you come back from that? We've even the series. It's 3-2 lead for them now, but how do you lose 175 to 107 and come back from that? That would just be like the worst feeling in the world, I would imagine. But 8-man rotation for these playoffs. You want to put Mark Williams in there. I don't know if I love that. I guess Nick Richards out of the rotation now, so I guess we're going to have a different backup center, whatever. So 8-man rotation for Charlotte. Can we force a game 7? I mean, we've won 2, so that's a good sign, but I don't know, man. Like I said, we've lost 175 to 107. That is like crazy. But it's looking like we are going to lose here in game 7 unless we make some epic comeback. But nah, we lost 151 to 98. So it doesn't look like we're totally ready to make that next jump. But you got the Celtics going on with the championship. Or they're not yet, but they do now. I mean, they win with Tatum. Hopefully Tatum leaves that team. I think he's a free agent this offseason. So that should lead to him maybe leaving. So that opens up the window of opportunity a little bit more. We do have the 13th pick via the Milwaukee Bucks. So that's kind of exciting. And that pick is going to stay at 13. So you have a first round pick to add to this roster or to trade away, whichever we decide. And I think that's going to be it. So feeling pretty good about that. Staff signing, you are going to have Steve Clifford still as head coach. If there's a shot doctor that can quickly add here, I'll grab him. But if it's like scrolling forever, then yeah, I'll let the CPU deal with it. So to the draft we go. And I want this to be the last offseason. So if I can make something happen here, I want to do that. So as far as anything, we have the 13th overall pick. I mean, I kind of like my team as currently constructed, obviously, but like you could throw Washington to Sierra Little on the 13th and, you know, kind of see what's offered to you. Get like a Jaden McDaniels, but does that really move the needle? Probably not. So let's just draft number 13 and let's just see what we can add. Maybe get like a really good player to come off the bench for us. Got Carter Knox. Have no idea who that is, but welcome to the squad anyway. I don't even think we had a backup shooting guard. So at number 13, we grab a 75 overall. So not too bad. Player option or rookie sign and then player options. Cody Martin, I'm going to accept. Keontae George, I'm going to accept, of course. And Mark Williams, going to accept. Qualifying offers. Kai Jones, free agent. I mean, he wasn't playing minutes for us anyway, so if he wants to come back, that's fine. Tatum is a free agent, and his first offer is from the Cavaliers, which actually is kind of scary to think about. But they have Mobley and Mitchell as free agents, so it looks like Cleveland will be coming back different. Obviously, you know, getting a Giannis would be kind of crazy right now, but we don't have the money for that. Bird Rice, you have Kai Jones and Jalen McDaniels. I'm going to sign Jalen McDaniels back to a deal to bring him back to continue to be our power forward. Or backup, I should say. But other than that, man, I might just run it back with what we got. Josh Richardson, Chris Duarte are here. So let me see if there's anything else I could add. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So kind of have a full rotation here. We're kind of just banking on Keontae George development at this point. So we got to the second round last year. I don't think I'm going to worry about signing anybody else. It's just a matter of development. Hopefully George is up to like an 86 if we get lucky. We'll see. Mason Jones, Kai Jones are back. And Keontae George up to an 86, so exactly what I kind of wish for there. So we're just going to have to hope DeAndre and LaMelo Ball and Keontae George can just kind of be our big three that leads us where we need to be. I mean, LaMelo Ball in himself already led us to the playoffs and to the second round. So as long as we have LaMelo Ball, I feel like our chances are pretty high of winning a championship. Back-to-back MVPs for LaMelo Ball. Almost said Luka Doncic just because that's so, you know, obvious to say most of the time. It's just like, you know, back-to-back MVPs for Luka because that's just always what happens. But no, this time LaMelo Ball did join the 50-40-90 club, averaged 13 assists per game on top of that. 60 of 22 on the year, so LaMelo Ball just absolutely stepped up. And Keontae George also made an All-NBA third team. He averaged 26 points per game. So Keontae George was absolutely the right pick. I'm so glad I got him in the draft, and now we get to play the Detroit Pistons in round 1. So they have Chris Middleton. So Chris Middleton started his career in Detroit and is going to be finishing his career in Detroit, it looks like. So that's, you know, nice. But Ivy and Cade Cunningham, so that's a backcourt we do have to deal with. 2K says update required. That's kind of annoying, but somebody current round against Detroit. And if we lose in round 1, I'm going to be upset, but we do beat them. So now we get through Orlando Magic. We got to deal with Jordan Hawkins, Markelle Fultz, Franz Wagner, Paulo, Nikola Vucevic back in Orlando. They have Collins as well. Brandon Miller, Wendell Carter. They have a pretty good bench. Game 1, we're up 1-0. 45 from Keontae George. Not only do we have a guy that can give you 40 in LaMelo, we also have Keontae George who's developed into that for us as well. 2-0 lead, 2-1, 3-1, and we beat them in 5, beat them in 6, please. Let's go. We're in the East Conference Finals. So I'm very curious to see what Cleveland looks like, because as we know, they had Mitchell, Mobley, and they're going after Tatum. All those guys were free agents. So what do the Cavaliers look like? They have, okay, so they have Garland, Mitchell, Kuzma, Bol, Jarrett Allen. So they lost Evan Mobley. So at least they lost somebody. But it's still going to be a tough matchup regardless. I guess we match up a little bit better now that they don't have Evan Mobley anymore. Let's see what happens. PJ Washington versus Bol. Game 1, 1-0. Game 2, 2-0. We go 3-0, and we're going to beat them that bad. Let's go, baby. We're in the playoff or in the finals, and now we get the Pelicans. So, Zion versus LaMelo Ball. So far, in that conference finals, LaMelo averaged 42 and 14, which is absolutely insane. What are the playoff stats right now? I have to look. We have, let me see. We have 32 from LaMelo, so kind of similar to the regular season, I guess. I thought it'd be like 40 and 40 or something crazy like that. But game 1, we're up 1-0 on the Pelicans, 50, 13, and 12. LaMelo, you are an absolute stud. So far, up 2-0, 3-0. Are we going to sweep the Pelicans? We are. That is crazy. LaMelo Ball, 38 points, 17 is. How do you stop that? How do you 50% from 3? LaMelo Ball, absolute stud. Let's go. We won a championship with the Hornets. That's what matters. So, Keontae George, absolute stud draft pick. He saved the video, I would say. If we didn't get him, I don't know if we get anywhere in this video, because obviously getting Wembanyama would have been cool as well. But DeAndre Ayton's nice as well. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you guys tomorrow, I think anyway. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.